You're watching KWQC TV, the news leader, making a difference in the Quad Cities. Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on QCL, a preview of this year's Alternating Currents Festival. More than 40 venues over 4 days, creating an unforgettable community experience.
Historic neighborhoods and small-town charm leads to big screen potential. We will meet the team propelling the Quad Cities into the film scene.
And it's not just fire drills and first aid. The Be Ready QC Resource Fair has games for kids, unique vendors, and even free gear to help you feel prepared for anything. Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live on this Monday, August 11th. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Morgan Otier.
And I'm Kyle Keel. If you're looking to add a new furry family friend or a new furry friend to your family, it could be a family friend soon.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. Well, this month is a fantastic month to do just that.
Yes, joining us today to share all the details and to introduce one very special pup is Joe Nicholson from the Humane Society of Scott County. Joe, welcome back. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Who is this sweet little guy staring me in my soul right now? Because is he not?
Yes.
He is.
He's totally.
Now
he's got
intense
me.
eye contact right
He's
now.
like, why do you guys keep laughing at me?
You're very cute. You don't know it. You don't know it, but you're very cute.
Oh, look at the ears. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So this is Beepus.
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 Yes, Beepus. It came to us, probably not quite a month ago. And we estimate that he is about a 9-month-old pup. Very, very puppy-like.
So cute.
Super sweet, super cute. Would probably do well in most homes. He came to us as a stray. Actually, the Davenport Police Department brought him in as a stray, and came in with a, kind of a skin infection.
Yeah.
But they have been, our health techs have been amazing. They've been treating it, and he's looking so much better.
Oh, good.
And he walks on the leash like a dream, and he goes potty outside, and he
Potty
rode
train, that's a big plus.
And he rode in the car, just
and he was comfortable.
Yeah, he rode in the car
those are
just
all
great.
good things. Those are, especially when you say a puppy that comes in is pretty much potty trained. I mean, that's a dream.
I mean, and I mean, don't get me wrong, we never are able to say like, yes, a dog is fully house trained or whatnot.
That would be hard.
But just from what I've noticed, getting him out throughout the day, and whatnot, he does typically like to go outside and go potty.
And he is very, very playful.
Yes.
Yeah, so what kind of, he's obviously a mix of some
sort? He's a mix, yeah. Especially when they, most dogs that come into us, most of them are mixes of this, that, and the other.
Oh, sure,
and so we really try not to breed our dogs or, associate a specific breed with our dogs.
Sure.
And so, we just, he's a small mixed breed puppy.
Yeah, he's very cute. Every single mannerism that he's done since he's gotten here, even just looking at us, has been hilarious.
He's like a fantastic guy.
And those big eyes, I love him. Yeah,
he
so
is just
cute.
Very cute. And I don't think he's ever going to lose that puppy face ever. So people who are interested in adopting through the Humane Society of Scott County, what are some things that they should know ahead of time? Like, how does the process work?
Well, basically, we are open every day to the public, with the exception of Tuesday.
Sure. Okay.
And so they can come in. We always obviously like to have them meet the cat or the dog or the guinea pig or whatever animal that they are wanting to adopt. And then the process is pretty simple. They fill out an application form or online. We have it right there at the shelter. And then we do all of our paperwork on our side.
Okay.
And we either approve or not approve. And then most of the time approve. And then we do also, if there are children in the home or if there's an existing pet in the home, we do always, recommend that, to bring, children or, not necessarily a cat, but bring, your dog if you have an existing dog. And then that way we can do meet and greets, because we don't send any dogs home without doing a meet and greet first with an existing animal.
Makes sense. You want it to be a good fit so that animal doesn't end up back in the shelter. So as we mentioned, this month, a great month to do it. As every year, NBC partners with, I think, 1,500 shelters across the U.S., including many here in the Quad Cities, including Humane Society of Scott County. We're talking Clear the Shelters, and you have a few options for people to adopt this month, some specials.
So obviously we are extremely, extremely grateful to NBC for the, partnering with us for the event, and with all the affiliates, NBC affiliates. Any animal, so usually cats, dogs, that are over 7 months. Okay. He would qualify.
Included.
7 months, the fees are waived.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that is very helpful. So that way the adoption fee, money can be spent on, going towards vet care or, bless you. Right on cue.
Yes, there you go. The vet care.
It's like, I actually have
I have to sneeze right now. Vet care or, food and toys and all the things. So, yeah. But yeah, so we are very grateful to NBC for that.
And you've been involved in this in the past. The Humane Society has. So how does that all work out for you in the grand scheme of things? Like when you compare Clear the Shelters month, maybe with some other months out of the year, is it a huge benefit?
It really is. We do also partner with another organization in, I believe it's May or June, and that is very helpful because people do appreciate those waived fees. Because again, then they can really utilize that extra, $60, $70, $80, $90.
Helps you get started with your new family member.
It really does. So it's very helpful. We find that, with the lower adoption fees, we are able to adopt more animals out.
Good.
So
that's great. That's great news, Beepus.
Yes, and what makes the Humane Society so successful in taking care of these animals, obviously, is the volunteers. And you are actually looking for some volunteers. Specifically, you wanted to point out that you need help with the lawn.
Yes, so do I.
Yeah, right. Sign us all up.
Okay, we all do, right?
Yes.
I'm also looking for volunteers.
Yes.
Just kidding. Help them.
Morgan.ota@kwqc.com.
Do you have a QR code as well?
I don't. Help Beepus.
Help Beepus.
Don't help me.
So as you can imagine, laundry for the amount of animals that we have in our building, it is never ending.
Oh, I'm sure.
We have amazing volunteers who will come and pick up laundry. We bag it up for them and they pick it up and they take it and they bring it back clean. And it has just been really amazing for us to have that, have those volunteers. So that's something that we're really looking for. During the summer months, as the shelter is more full with animals, we have more laundry. So, So that is that would be great.
Well, there's that QR code that Joe was just talking about. So if you just want to pop that up on your phone, I mean, that's going to take you straight to a form where you're going to be able to coordinate pick-up and drop-off times. But it sounds like you all make it very, very easy.
Big help.
Yes.
All right, so also you're raising money as Poor Bros and Moline does every month, at least once a month. They team up with y'all and do a Pups and Pints.
They're amazing as well. They've been a great partner.
Fun.
Yeah, they've been a great partner for us. So it is August 31st. I believe that's a Sunday, August 31st, from 1 to 4 at Poor Bros. And then there'll be vendors, there'll be fun stuff for, people coming through. We'll have, possibly some adoptable kittens or dogs. I'm not sure what we've decided on yet, but yeah, just a lot of really good stuff going on that day. So definitely stop out. It's a big fundraiser for us. So
it's a good time, and we've talked about this in the past with your shelter and other shelters. It is so needed, especially with medical costs and things like that when you're taking animals in. So it's just a big help. And Beepus,
he's like over it.
He's done.
He might live here now. I think he lives here. Yeah. If you are interested in the ears, right? If you're interested in adopting Beepus or any other animal from the Humane Society of Scott County, you can visit during adoption hours. We have those hours on your screen. Of course, for more information, you can always visit hssc.us. Joe and Beepus, thank you so much for being here today. I do too. I can't stop saying it. It's adorable. Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for always supporting us and having us on.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. Well, still to come, music, comedy, film, art, and it's all free. Yes, Alternating Currents returns this week, and we're getting a sneak peek at what's new for 2025.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Alternating Currents is back this week, bringing 4 days of music, comedy, film, and art to the heart of the Quad Cities.
Alternating Currents is a celebration of creativity, community, and downtown vibrancy, quickly becoming an example of how the arts can really bring people together. Joining us today with how to make the most of this experience is Festival Director Alicia Espy. Alicia, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much for being here. This is an exciting time every single year, gearing up for Alternating Currents. So for for those who are maybe new to it, either they're new to the area or just new to the festival in general, what is Alternating Currents and kind of what makes it a little more unique or special from some more traditional festivals?
Sure. So Alternating Currents is a 4-day festival. It starts on Thursday this week, runs through Sunday, and it's free. There's no ticket required, which that's like the #1 thing that makes it different than any other festival is that we make it really low barrier and accessible to everyone. And so the idea is that you just get out and explore. And so we say it's a festival of discovery, so it might be your finding a favorite artist.
Yes.
There's comedy, film, music, art installations, makers, like we have it all, and then it's all in different venues. So we have, I think I was starting to do my data collection today, and I think we're up to 46 venues across Davenport, Rock Island, and Bettendorf. And so yeah, it's really about getting into the doors of local businesses and kind of finding your next favorite act or your favorite business.
Yeah, and this really showcases not only the Quad Cities, but the multi-talent that we have across various forms of art and music. And obviously a big week here on QCL as well, as we're going to be having an AC takeover with many people involved with the festival all week long, so you want to stay tuned in that. But really, it's been a great partnership between you all and KWQC to really highlight this festival that is getting bigger and bigger each and every year.
We feel very lucky.
Well, I know I'm on your show, but we love you guys.
Yes,
honestly. Like, you know, you've talked about our documentary, just the work that you guys do to showcase this as a story for our community of what this really means to artists and the people that live here. It's an important story to tell, and you guys are the perfect partner to do it.
Well, we're so excited to be part of it. It is very exciting for us. You know, he talks about the takeover. We're going to have we're going to have artists on the show this week, from musicians to, you know, actual visual artists to comedians. I think we have Chris Slickton coming tomorrow, so we're in for some fun. So you kind of already touched on this, but beyond Alternating Currents, you know, the entertainment involved, it has a real impact on our communities, on our downtowns. So talk a little bit about why this event is really so important for growing community, or placemaking is a good term for it.
Yeah, so from the artist perspective, we hire local artists, regional and national. And so one of the things that I think that it speaks to is that if I'm a creator, I don't have to live in a big city like New York and LA. Like, I can build a creative career here in the Quad Cities, and Alternating Currents is the platform to kind of showcase that, and the ripple effects are lasting, you know, way beyond the festival. And for our businesses, you know, it's rare to have a festival that really programs them as venues and gets people in their doors that they maybe don't see every day. And so there are just multiple layers as to how this particular festival model benefits the Quad Cities.
Yeah, there's a lot new happening at Alternating Currents this year. Obviously, we've got some expansions of what's already there, like the mural experience as well. But what are some new venues that we can check out here this year? Yeah,
well, I'm really excited about the Phoenix. We are doing a pop-up comedy club upstairs on the second floor, and so that'll be a space that maybe not everybody has been in. That's it's really cool. And then you mentioned Mural Fest. We expanded that this year, so now we have 2 walls in Rock Island, a wall in Bettendorf, and 2 in Davenport. And when we put out the call, we got nearly 100 applications, and I know Ben's going to come on and talk a little bit more about that, but just blown away with the quality of submissions that we received through that process, and the artists are already working.
Yeah, and I love the incorporation too of Last Picture House. I know that that's not a new thing. They've been involved since they've really been around, but there's an expanded film fest that's happening there. It's just nice to see them lending their space, which is such a unique, cool space, and being such a big part of this.
Yeah, the film festival just would not grow in the way that it has without the asset of the Last Picture House, and they've been great partners in helping connect us to different programs. And so yeah, we've upped the panels and the Q&As, and we are just living large in the Last Picture House.
I love it. I love it so much.
And there's a big performance coming up here this Friday night from Hembry. So why is this so meaningful to Alternating Currents and the whole experience here this weekend?
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to talk to Hembry. So they performed at our very first festival, and over the years we've brought them back, and their audience has grown and grown and grown. And last year when we were at Raccoon, Andre and your team has footage of just people spilling out into the streets because you couldn't fit any more bodies into Raccoon. And so this is really a story of, like, they've been able to grow the audience. Now we're putting them outside into our biggest stage, and there'll be plenty of room for everybody to come, and I hope people do.
Yeah, they absolutely will. Historically, actually. You know, it's only grown, and yeah, we are excited. So we're going to be talking to them on Friday. So really looking forward to that. One thing I love to talk with you about each year is how people can kind of plan their experience at Alternating Currents. A lot of that is done through the app. We have that on the screen right now. This is exactly what it looks like. I mean, you guys really do have the most user-friendly mobile app. It's so easy to figure out what you're going to do.
Yeah, we work really hard. My coworker Haley puts in a lot of data into that app. But it's hundreds of events. So we used to do a printed pamphlet, and if we did it now, it would be very, very thick with, you know, over 200 events.
Save the trees.
Taking place. Yeah, so the app is, I know it can be really intimidating when I'm saying 200 events, but again, the festivals, if you just attend one event and get it started, then you can start kind of wander. So like pick one and then come downtown. And some people are like, oh, it's a festival for, you know, the young, cool people like Morgan and I. But, you know, it's for everybody. We have so many genres of music and different things going on. So nobody should feel like, bring your grandma and grandpa, bring your kids, like everybody come down and experience it. Like, we love to see everybody there.
It's so searchable. Like I was just using it today to see what days and where the texters were performing, because we've got the texters coming on the show, and all you have to do is type that in. So if you have a band in mind or a performer in mind or a film in mind, you can search that way, or you can just search and go, the only time I have the babysitter is from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. and you could probably find like, I don't know, 30 shows in that time. So yeah, I love the app. It's really easy to use.
So if someone's watching, they've not been to any of the acts or any of the festival here over the last several years, what would you say to get them out into the Quad Cities this weekend?
If I was starting in downtown Davenport, I might start at Common Chord. So on 2nd Street, I mentioned we're putting that stage out in the street. And so we're partnering with the Cultural Trust and their legacy partners to do a lot of family-friendly programming. And so that space will be very active all weekend long. And so that would be like maybe my home base, my go-to to check in first and then kind of explore from there.
Explore full. I like that advice.
You can get your plans together here this weekend. Lots to do for people of all ages. Alternating Currents runs from August 14th through the 17th, and it is all free, as Alicia mentioned. So be sure to download the app to experience the art, music, film, and all the energy that make the Quad Cities so special. You can also learn more by visiting alternatingcurrentsqc.com. Alicia, thanks so much, and we look forward to a fun, busy weekend here in the Quad Cities.
Yes.
Yeah, can't wait to see you guys downtown.
Absolutely. Up next, how Quad City Arts is teaming up with Alternating Currents for this year's Mural Fest. We just talked a little bit about it. They're bringing bold, new public artwork to even more communities.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
This year, Alternating Currents is expanding its visual impact in a big way by joining forces with Quad City Arts for Mural Fest. The organization is playing a lead role in bringing public art to even more communities through installations and immersive experiences. And joining us with more on this exciting partnership is Ben Goujon from Quad City Arts. Ben, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you for being here today. There's so much excitement in the air. You know, when you know something big is happening in the QCA, it's just the feeling that we get. And we're talking specifically today about Mural Fest. So first, what is Mural Fest and how did QC Arts kind of get involved in all of this?
Yeah, so Mural Fest is a festival of murals that's part of the Alternating Currents Festival. And the Alternating Currents has done it on smaller scales over the last couple years, but they really wanted to expand and include Rock Island and Bettendorf. So we came in to help manage that process. And as Alicia said earlier, you know, we had over 100 submissions of artists from all around the world. So we've got a location.
Amazing.
It really is. The level of muralists that submitted for this project blew my mind. You know, whenever you put a call out for artists, you never know who's going to submit. But we got just some of the top muralists in the world that submitted for this festival.
That is so exciting. It gives me goosebumps because it truly is. I mean, this public art is such a big deal here in our community. Obviously, I can't speak for other communities. I know Des Moines is another big one, you know, but it really does. It brightens up every downtown and every city. So you talked about adding more public art in Rock Island and in Bettendorf. How meaningful is that, you know, and how does your team kind of coordinate coordinate all of that and bring all of that to life?
Well, and it's huge, you know. I mean, public art is such a large part of placemaking and bringing places to life. And like the city of Rock Island and of Bettendorf have both been heavily investing in trying to elevate their downtown areas.
Sure.
And public art is a huge part of that, because if you drive into a downtown and you just see a bunch of gray concrete, it's not very exciting or interesting.
Okay, yeah.
But when you can drive in and see, you know,
Splashes
a giant mural
color.
and all this color, you know, we always talk with public art about the economic impact of that.
Yeah.
And how you drive through somewhere and you see that stuff, and those are the things that maybe as a tourist or someone driving, you say, oh, that's really cool. Let's stop and see if there's a cute coffee shop, or check out the shops in that area.
It kind of gives that community or that downtown an identity that I think people want to come back to, or at least it's memorable for people. So can you share maybe some of the other projects or activations that you guys are all curating for this year's Alternating Currents beyond this?
Yeah, so we have a long-standing relationship with Alternating Currents.
Yeah.
Mural Fest, obviously, this year is a huge part of that, but also our silent discos.
So popular.
Yeah, we've been doing, I think since the pandemic.
Yes.
We maybe started before. But we have 3 silent discos this year. One which is going to be outdoors in Arts Alley in Rock Island.
Very cool.
Right by Quad City Arts. So that's going to be awesome. There's going to be all sorts of activation down there.
Yeah.
On Thursday night. There's going to be some music there. Bruce Walters is doing some projections, live map projections up on one of the walls down there.
That's one I wanted to ask you about. So this is a very talented local artist.
Yes.
And this is a very unique and special exhibition that's going to be happening.
Yeah, and he had a exhibition in our gallery last year, and he's taken some of the imagery from that and using, you know, digital live mapping technology, has basically animated it and come to life. And so that'll be projected on a big wall while there's the band playing, and then everyone's going to go over to Schwiebert Park, and there's going to be another band playing, and then they're going to come back, and we're going to have a silent disco and dance the night away. How fun!
Yeah, it's such a special place there in Arts Alley, and all the really cool work that has been done there. So for anybody who hasn't seen it, definitely make this a reason to go and check it out. Just speak on the collaboration, you know, between Alternating Currents and Quad City Arts, and really what it's doing to kind of lift up or grow creatives here in the area. What that collaboration has really done.
Yeah, we start planning this probably in November, October, November. We start having discussions about what we can do and what we can bring in. And, you know, not to keep referring back to Alicia, but she talked about being able to uplift local artists as well. And it's a tricky blend when you're talking about bringing artists in and having local artists, because you want to support local artists, and you also want to bring new life that's not in the Quad Cities there for people to experience. And so one of the things I think that does is, and this festival does, is we get to uplift and showcase our local artists, but then also bring in this exposure of outside artists, and they get to learn from each other. Yeah. You know, one of the coolest things was when we did the 2 large murals in Arts Alley last year, was Nicole was from Miami, Atlanta was from here, and they spent that week working side by side and like talking to each other about technique and how they were going to learn. And they both learned so much from each other.
I love that example.
About their work. Yeah, it's really a beautiful thing when you...
Yeah, you've struck a very delicate balance. I think everyone who kind of coordinates and puts all of this together, it's not easy to do, but somehow, I think just because of the team that's behind everything, you guys just nail it year after year. So it's truly special. And Mural Fest, of course, we're so excited to see what comes of that, especially with this being such a big year for it. So if you want to learn more about the artists, the murals, the experiences at this year's Alternating Currents Festival, just visit quadcityarts.com. Lots there to check out. And of course, don't miss Mural Fest happening August 22nd through the 25th across downtown Davenport, Bettendorf, and Rock Island. Just head to alternatingcurrentsqc.com for more information. We've got that at the bottom of your screen. Ben, as always, thanks for coming on and chatting with us. us about everything.
It's a pleasure to be here,
yes,
Morgan.
Thank you so much. And still to come in our second half hour, Lights, Camera, Quad Cities. We'll talk to the team at the QC Regional Film Office about how our area is becoming a filmmaker's dream destination. Plus, Be Ready QC. We've got details on a resource fair happening this weekend all about emergency preparedness.
And it's another warm and humid afternoon across the QCA. We've got temperatures that are well into the 80s in some locations, but we are tracking some more showers, perhaps a few thunderstorms heading into the evening and overnight hours. We'll have the timing and let you know how the rest of the week shapes up coming up in the second half of Quad Cities Live.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, it's been another warm and muggy day across the region. We've had a lot of clouds around as well. A couple spotty showers here and there, but for the most part, it's been dry. Looking at the Everywhere Camera Network, you can certainly see that little sunshine in the Quad Cities, especially looking up to the northeast, where we've had some breaks in that cloud cover. And as we take a look at the latest scan of First Alert Live Doppler radar, everything is mostly dry. A little bit of rain, though, as you get west of Iowa City there on I-80 towards central Iowa. That all is tracking to the east, and that could be kind of the area that we watch for some thunderstorm development as well, as we've got low pressure out near Kansas City, Missouri. This all is going to be tracking off to the northeast. So if we do a little extrapolating there, they would take this from the Quad Cities and points off to the north for the highest chance of rain here as we head into the evening and overnight hours. Now, the good news is we're not expecting any severe weather, but the bad news is this is going to be falling over areas that saw anywhere from 3 to as much as 5 inches of rain over the weekend. So additional rainfall, not the best news. Could see 1 to 2 inch rainfall rates per hour here with some of these storms. So flash flooding risk, yes, it's present, but it's not extremely high. But it's something that we need to keep an eye on through the overnight hours. So again, maybe a couple after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock into the overnight hours, especially again from the Quad Cities and points off to the north. And we can show you that here with ExactTrack. Doing a pretty good job at keeping most of that rain out here in portions of central Iowa here this afternoon. As we head over the next few hours, we'll see even more rain move in. So possibly by 8 o'clock could have some storm development here near the Quad Cities or storms headed into the Quad Cities region. I think the better chance for that happening is going to be after we get past 10 o'clock or so. Here we are at midnight with some scattered storms. These are going to continue to push northeastward through the region as that low pressure kind of moves along the stationary boundary that has really been present all weekend long here in the Quad Cities. This will keep showers going here through about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we should stay dry for the most part here through the day on Tuesday. It could be a spotty shower or storm here throughout the day. Otherwise, it's a mix of some sun and clouds, and then as that front kind of moves through again here as we head into tomorrow evening, could see a couple of scattered storms, but as that moves through, we're going to get a northwesterly wind to move in. It's going to knock the humidity down just a little bit here as we head into the day on Wednesday. So as far as the rainfall goes, again, we're not expecting a widespread, 1 to 2 inch rainfalls by any means, but something that we need to continue to watch is that potential for 1 to 2 inch rainfalls off to our north. And then we'll get a dip in that humidity here after that front moves through late Tuesday into Wednesday. That continues through early Friday before we see that humidity rise here heading into the weekend. And I just wanted to let you know, way out there near the Cape Verde Islands, we do have Tropical Storm Erin that will become the first major hurricane of the season. No impact to the U.S. as it looks right now. But a quick look here at home at the 7-day forecast. Back to the low 90s here heading into the weekend with our next chance of rain on Sunday.
Bringing Hollywood to the heartland. Today, we are shining a spotlight on the growing film scene right here in the Quad Cities. You might not realize it, but our region has quietly been making a name for itself in the world of film and television, and that is in large part thanks to the work of the Quad Cities Regional Film Office. Joining us now are Holly Sparkman, Film Office Manager, and Doug Miller, Film Office Liaison. Thank you so much for being here, both of you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, looking forward to talking with you. There's so much that I learned in just reading about the film office that I thought I would know, because I know you, I know Doug. I mean, we've really been out there as a community for quite some time, not just recently. So can you tell me what exactly is the QC Regional Film Office, and what role does it kind of play in the community and in the broader picture?
Well, I'll start. The film office, Senator Mike Halpin allocated some money from the state so we could have a film office in our area. In Illinois, there are 4 other area film offices, one in Champaign-Urbana, Northwest Illinois, and then Chicago has its own film office because they're really busy, and then we have the State of Illinois Film Office. So we're just trying to fill the need here, so that people can learn that, yes, there is another part of Illinois that's beautiful, and we have so many assets here, whether it's historic neighborhoods, the river, that's a big draw. We can do rural, we can do downtowns. We really have a lot here to share.
It's truly, I mean, when you really think about how diverse our landscape is, it's so easy just to a 10-minute drive to get a completely different, view or scenery and things like that. So it's really cool. So why, Doug, is it important to really have something like this here in the Quad Cities, not just for filmmakers and folks from the outside looking for us, but why is it important for our community here?
Well, there's quite a few local filmmakers that are seeking their way to become the next Scott Beck and Brian Woods.
Right.
I remember consulting with them with the Film Office in 2006 when they were first really getting started. And so the talent pool is there. We have done about 20 feature films here. And when I say 20 feature films, films of some note that have shown Venice Film Festival, Cannes, Sugar, which we shot the baseball park here.
Yeah.
And the diversity of those locations, we go back to the mid-1800s all the way up through modern buildings that light up like the Figueroa. Aggressive incentive programs in the country. They did last year about $650 million worth of production.
Wow.
Mostly Chicago, but we're going to get some of that production in this part of the state too.
Well, yeah, I was one of my questions was what makes the Quad Cities so financially attractive to filmmakers. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious why maybe Chicago wouldn't be as attractive because it's a big city. Everything is just going to be more expensive. But what are some of the reasons that somebody would look to us here in the QC as opposed to other areas?
Oh, I was going to say, well, actually, locations has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
I've probably scouted over 100 films in the last 35 years. Locations are very important. The ability to get in and out of this area fast, airplanes as well as the interstate system. And so that really adds to it, plus the talent pool. We've had a lot of people that started out their careers here in one fashion or the other, in front of the camera and behind the camera. And there's more to that to come.
Yeah. And we're just affordable. I mean, the cost of living here is really wonderful, and we can make a lot of things work the same way, and it would not be as expensive.
Yeah.
The 30% tax credit on top of the savings that you can get while shooting in Illinois, doing what you're doing, is substantial.
Right.
At the end of the day, you can stop at your local pub and get a beer for $2.50.
Sure.
That same beer in Chicago is $5. I was interviewing
maybe 10.
a filmmaker that's from New York that came here because of his family. He said it's $10. And so it's kind of an unusual kind of an example, but it's really true. It's much less expensive.
It's a trickle down. It absolutely is. Yeah. We've been talking a lot, of course, about alternating currents today as we're kicking things off here this week. And the Film Office has actually involved Holly in a lot of that, especially when it comes to film, which I feel like is very unique to our festival. So describe what we can see, coming up this weekend.
Well, we were happy to be able to jump in and support Alternating Currents, put together a couple of film events at the Circa 21 Speakeasy. The first one, we were able to get director, producer, all of the above, Edgar Behrens. He did a documentary called Prison Terminal that was filmed locally in Fort Madison. At the Iowa State Penitentiary.
It was nominated for an Academy Award.
Nominated for an Academy Award. So we're able to do a screening of that at 4 o'clock on Sunday at the Speakeasy. And then we actually reached out to the Augustana Film Program and said, hey, let's showcase your student short clips from, they had a showcase at the Last Picture House in May. Let's play those again and offer it up as a part of the festival.
And we have kind of a special in with the Illinois Film Office because an alumnus of TV6 Peter Hawley started on the floor crew here back in the mid-1980s when he was going to Northwestern.
Okay.
And
connections everywhere.
Well, and he and I, when we first saw each other, gee, you look awful familiar. Where? Well, I was working upstairs while he was down on the floor crew, and I was producing public affairs programming here.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
And he'll be in town as well too to see what Alternating Currents has to offer.
Well, that's great. And so whether you are a local business owner, an artist yourself, a student, or simply a film fan, you can learn more about the QC Regional Film Office by visiting them on the web at qcafilmoffice.com. We've got that there at the bottom of your screen. Doug and Holly, thanks for joining us on the show and just kind of giving people a peek at everything that you guys are doing there.
With more to come.
Yes, absolutely. Coming up, from free preparedness kits to hands-on tips for families, we'll show you how the Be Ready QC Emergency Resource Fair is helping us take control before disaster strikes.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Be Ready QC is an emergency resource fair planned for this weekend aimed at helping residents throughout the Quad Cities be better prepared for emergencies and disasters.
Yeah, and now in its third year, this fair really brings together emergency professionals, preparedness vendors, and hands-on activities designed to help people plan ahead for disaster situations. Joining us today is Brian Payne, Director of the Scott County Emergency Management Agency. Brian, welcome.
Thank you guys very much for having us on.
Yes, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for being here today. Okay, so what is the Be Ready QC Emergency Resource Fair? Just talk about where the idea came from and what the purpose is.
So the idea really started several years ago, and it took us a while to pull some of the information together, pull the right partners together, and what we really are looking for, it's a free event for the general public. Anyone and everyone can come. We don't even care if they're from the Peoria area, you know, wherever you're coming from. If you want to learn something about it, there's always things that can be done to be better prepared for a disaster, an emergency. I mean, there's all kinds of things we can do to help people be better prepared.
Yeah, I think a lot of us think, okay, this emergency, this disaster, it happens to everyone else. It never happens to me, but
You're right.
it can happen to you. And I think many people, especially, I'm thinking of the recent flash flooding people I've talked to personally, who said, I never thought that where I live that this would happen. So this is really a good time to come check out all the local agencies coming together, because you've got a number of agencies locally coming together. So kind of give us an overview of the day for people.
Yeah, so we have a ton of agencies coming together for the 4 hours we're going to be there. We're going to have a Environmark talking about what they can do to prepare or what they can do to recover after an event comes through. We're going to have Iowa Homeland Security and Emergency Management there talking about the state individual assistance. So residents specific to the flash flooding will be there to get help, talk to them about that, and even if you weren't impacted by that, they'll be there to explain what that program looks like going forward.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, for them, there's Stop the Bleed stations, there's CPR. You know, we deal a lot with emergencies and disasters, right? But you witness someone going to cardiac arrest and being able to do hands-only CPR, I mean, you really could make a difference and save somebody's life.
Yeah.
It's important to know those things.
Yeah, and there are a number of things that folks can learn at this fair. A couple of them that I pulled, how to build an emergency kit.
Yeah.
So that's a really hands-on activity that people are going to be able to do. It sounds like there's a lot of hands-on activities.
Yeah.
And then you talked about severe weather awareness and things like that, but first aid as well. You talked about hands-only CPR and things. These are things that, like Kyle mentioned, we never think we're going to have to use, or we're never going to think we're going to need that knowledge. But wow, how useful just to have it.
Well, simple things, you know, like we're going to be giving away tourniquets. So you go through a Stop the Bleed station, you learn how to put the tourniquet on because there's appropriate things to do.
Sure.
And then you get that, you know, most people associate a tourniquet with battles or active shooters. But the reality is you could be opening a window and you slip and put your arm through and you could cut through your artery and you need a tourniquet. I mean, there's so many applications to some of these things. We just have the mindset it's never going to happen to me. And we really are trying to encourage the public to come down, stop in. There are a ton of hands-on activities going on down here.
And you'll have a lot of disaster emergency preparedness available, including one of these that I always preach about is the weather radio. I mean, it is so important. Think of this as a smoke alarm for storms, essentially. I mean, you're in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., and you don't have any way to get alert. You're not going to wake up from your phone. This thing will wake you up.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you have one of these. And Morgan's shining that flashlight. It's also important to have a flashlight handy. Of course, that's something you'll be giving away as these little
awesome
flashlights. They're little magnets.
They're
as well.
like thin. It's hard to tell.
They're very bright.
Where we're sitting. They're incredibly bright. Like I can't look at it. But they're thin, like a bookmark. They're like teeny tiny. And then there's a magnet on the back, so it can just like, you can just slap it on the side of your fridge or something. You'll always have this super bright flashlight.
I love. My kids are gonna have so much fun with this when I get home.
They are, yeah, and that's a good thing. And that is actually something I wanted to briefly talk about. Is this is an event that you can bring the kids to?
Yeah, highly encourage you to bring your kids to it. You know, there's all kinds of aspects for them to do. We're gonna have a special house coming down from one of the hospitals, bringing it in for an emergency aspect. There's coloring contests. There's all kinds of different hands-on. There's simulations they can go through. We're looking to have a fire engine down there spraying some water. We're gonna have a helicopter landing. I mean, there's all kinds of things for the kids to do just as well.
Yeah.
And plenty of vendors as well. So, you know, this is, again, as you mentioned, for really everyone to come down because everyone needs to know how to respond to emergencies and disasters. So, So talk about some of the vendors that'll be there.
Yeah, so honestly, we're going to have our newest vendors that we've had coming in is the Enviromark one. We're going to have Constellation with the nuclear power plant there, talking about radiological emergencies. We're going to have, I should have brought a list for all of you. I know we're live right now, so that works out well. We're going to have a ton of vendors. Check us out on Facebook, Be Ready QC, and you'll actually see the full listing there of what's going on and be able to see that.
Yeah.
So you can come down and see there.
Well, because it can be like super specific with dependent on like, you know, even where you are in life right now. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff that's really specific for, you know, seniors, you know, older folks in the community, but then for kids or people with pets and things like that. So, yeah, just all nice, great stuff to know and learn about. And you may learn something, and actually you probably will learn something there that you'll go, wow, I wish, I'm so happy I came here today. And now that I know that. So Be Ready QC Emergency Resource Fair. It is set for this Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. at the Waterfront Convention Center in Bettendorf. If you want to learn more, as Brian mentioned, just visit Be Ready QC on Facebook. All kinds of info about the vendors is posted there. So thank you so much for being here.
Right.
Thank you guys
Thanks,
very much.
Brian. Appreciate it. All right, well, coming up next on QCL, it is Monday, so we are taking a look back at our wins of the weekend, including touching some trucks. We'll see you after the break. Coming up tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, we continue celebrating alternating currents with a preview of the comedic side of the festival. We'll show you where and when to catch some of these laughs later this weekend.
Plus, a live performance by one of the bands in the Alternating Currents lineup. We'll listen to some music by The Textures, based right here in the QC. That and so much more Tuesday at 3 on QCL.
Can't wait.
Yes, well, it is Monday after all, a very big week, but for a lot of us, a big weekend. So we're going to do our wins of the weekend. And you had a ton of fun with the kids.
I did, yes. We spent a lot of time. We had a really lazy day. That's a win in itself.
It is,
yesterday, just spent some time at home. But Saturday, we got out and about to Molene's Touch a Truck event. I made the mistake of going a little bit later in the event. I didn't realize how big it actually was. It was down at Western Illinois University. The kids had an absolute blast. I took my grandma with me, so kids got some great grandma time in. I tell you what, my grandma had, I think, more fun than the kids. She's like, Kyle, take my picture, take my picture. So we had a blast. There was also a petting zoo there, some bounce houses. And then they didn't want to leave, so we saw the final few trucks get out and about and leave. They had an absolute blast. So thank you, City of Moline. Great event.
Yeah, they're adorable.
Yes.
Speaking of grandparents, so we had a really fun party yesterday for Darby's great-grandpa, Papa Myron, and he is 99 years old.
99.
Yeah, so that's a photo of him. He's a World War II veteran. We're very proud of him.
Yes.
And he celebrated 99 yesterday with a very big party with lots of family and friends. And so, there he is now.
He looks really good.
Yeah, he's fabulous and the most fun ever and just the best papa ever. So we just wanted to wish him a very happy 99th birthday.
99
and we're really
years,
going to blow it out of the water for one.
Yeah, can't wait to hear about that next year.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching Quad Cities Live.
Your News at 4 with Sharon is coming up next. We'll see you here tomorrow.